Thanksgiving and do a ham. Then we don't have to cook the rest of the week. Woo.
That's what we do. We got mashed
Yep.
potatoes going, all this. So yeah. All right.
Yep.
We are on, baby.
All right. Yay.
Hello. I brought Awen because my other cohort is on her deathbed, apparently. Let's see. Did anybody see what shakes, baby?
I think it's just us right now, but that's
I know,
okay.
and that's all right. No, I imagine people thought we were
There's
dead.
catnip. Yay.
Catnip. What up? Yeah, me and Awen were I was just telling her randomly, Wayne and I were staring at ham at Walmart. And it makes you think of, what was that, Napoleon Dynamite, like, hey, Tina wants some ham? You know what I mean? That's what we were just cracking up. I'm like, oh, my God. So, yeah, that's what we're having. As soon as we get done here. It'll be late night, but we're going for it, baby. Like, in the good dinner rolls and, like, all that stuff. It's, like, so dumb. I'm like.
Yeah, my husband, we have a restaurant around here that has the best dinner rolls I've ever had in my life. So when the ham was almost done, he went out and got 2 boxes of dinner rolls from that restaurant. You know? And tomorrow he'll make the split pea and ham soup. It's like, why not? It's fall.
Right.
It's what you do.
I don't care what dinner is. If you've got a good bread, like, I am a bread freak. I could eat bread all day. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, if I walk into like Panera, or even I walk into Subway, I'm like, I don't even want the meat. Just give me a few loaves of bread. Yep. I'm good. Like, I'm out. That's funny. Catnip, I'm feeling, I feel better, but I sound like, once I talk a lot, like, it'll crack. I'll sound like a 14-year-old boy. It'll be sweet. It'll be so exciting. Oh my God, I love bread too. Bread. I'm about to go. I'll have to go upstairs and make me a dinner roll midway here. Be right back. Funny. So what's is it like like a local restaurant, or is it a chain? Is it something I need to check out?
It's called Logan's Roadhouse. I don't know if they're
national. We do have that. Yeah.
Their dinner rolls are they're so good.
You know what I love at like Longhorn or Outback is their butter. It's like that honey butter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. So you give me a few loaves of bread and some of that butter, and I'm good to go. But, man, dinner. It's so good.
Yep. Yeah, I did low carbing for a couple of years, and it was really great. It worked well. But, man, when I had a cheat day, you know what I ate? Bread. I just wanted soft, white, beautiful bread.
I could never do the no carb thing because I love bread, and I eat baked potatoes all the time. I throw them in the microwave all the time. Yeah. Like, I love a baked potato. It's like, oh, I just love it. Like, no, I could not go carb free. Nope.
It's not easy.
No, I'm sure it's not. I couldn't do it myself.
Yep.
Could not. Let's see. I'm trying to find something. Oh, there it goes. Uh-oh. Oh, crazy people. Crazy. Okay, so apparently Linda and I had inadvertently hurt Awen's feelings, and it was not intentional. And I'll tell you what happened. I think it was the second time I was placed inpatient. I was 18 or 19. It was right after Austin was born. And they had in one of our groups, we had somebody come in, and, you know, that led the group, and they were doing meditation, and it was very focused on the breathing. And that's how it started. Like, there was no introduction. There was no explanation of, you know, what this will do for you, how, like, what happens on the other side. It was just basically sit down and, like, control your breathing. Like, it was very, like, military, like it felt like to me. Mm-hmm. And I had to get up and leave the room, and I'm like, no. So that word, like, makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
So apparently in our conversations that we've had on here, we were taught, you know, meditation had been brought up, and we had both said, and I know we both said it. I mean, I can't speak for Linda. When Linda feels better, she will be back. She is still very sick. She sounds horrible. Like, she's like on the verge of the ER, even though she won't admit it. But speaking for myself, I know that I wrote it off, and I went and you know, for the last 20 something years wanted nothing to do with it because I did not have a good experience. And so then Awen brought it to me that, hey, you can't be like, I don't like that shit, but hey, post a link about what you're doing. It's going to be great. And I was like, yeah, I guess that really kind of was an asshole move, even though it wasn't meant that way.
No, I know.
It came across. And I really when Awen told me, like, I like had real tears, I was really upset. Like, oh my God, like Awen's mad. Like, I didn't even know Awen could get upset and like mad. Like, oh my God, like that was, I don't know, that really bothered me. So,
well, first, I wasn't mad. It was more because I was laughing and I'm like, we don't like this stuff. It doesn't work for us. But put your link up. And I was like, that's weird. That's awkward.
No, you're right. The way it was presented was wrong. And like, I would be selfish to be like, well, it didn't work for me, so it's not going to work for you. So don't even consider it. That's not fair.
Right.
That's not my choice to make for somebody else. And because I think that it is probably a technique that if you are taught more about it and know more about it and know what to expect, as opposed, it's like taking somebody and just throwing them in the deep end of the pool and saying, swim,
yep.
No, what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I thought having Awen come and explain some of this to us would be awesome. So that's that. So when I redeemed myself enough. I gotta get issues. I gotta be crying in the corner.
When you told me about your experience, I felt so bad because whoever did that to you, I mean, that's so wrong. And when you approach meditation, you have to look at each person. If you have anxiety issues, and for you, controlling your breath is going to be a challenging thing that causes anxiety, obviously that's not something you want to tell that person to do.
Right.
So
like I said, it was horrible. In one of our group things. And I mean, it was 20-something years ago, but I would guesstimate there was at least 8 people in there. Yeah. So, but I know I had to get up and leave the room. So I'm sure, but then you think about any sort of like mental health treatment 20 years ago. It was a lot of inpatient, take a few of these. Here's a few sleeping pills so we don't have to worry about you and you don't have to worry about you. And then we'll send you home in a few days. You know what I mean? So it's totally different experience. But anyway, I'll shut
up. There's 2 different things that I do. I do guided meditations, which are kind of structured. They're kind of like you go through a relaxation process that's sort of controlled and structured, and then you do a guided visualization for a specific goal. But the main thing that I'm doing, especially on YouTube, is the 3-minute mindfulness, which is not meditation. It's short little visualizations to help calm you in an instant if you're going into a stressful situation, or to help you turn off your brain to fall asleep at night, little things like that. But they're not structured and controlled to the point where you need to train and practice and all that other stuff. That's a whole different world of things that maybe someday I'll put on YouTube, but we'll start small.
Yeah, baby steps. I like baby steps because I'm a puss, and plus, if I want to know all the things about all the things, and I want to understand it more, so I'm not afraid of it. That's the thing.
And meditation is a big subject. It's a whole practice where you use different techniques, such as mindfulness or focusing, to sort of train your mind to be aware of things and attentiveness, but to attain mental clarity and being an emotionally calm and stable state. But that's something that people spend their lives practicing meditation. It's not something that I'm going to be meditative and go do it. No, you have to learn how to do it. You have to ease into it. And it is the process of training your brain. I say that a lot, even in my 3-minute mindfulness series. It's time to train your brain to do this. And the reason it's such an expansive topic is because what you're doing through meditation and mindfulness is connecting with your subconscious. Right? And you do that through symbolism. Your subconscious mind doesn't speak English. It doesn't know what words you're using. It uses symbols. So that's why my latest episode was to become a tree, all right, where you're rooted down into the earth and your branches reach up to the sky. Those are all symbols that send very specific messages to your subconscious mind to do something, right? Or to produce a certain feeling or emotion, or even release certain chemicals in the brain. Um, sorry, but meditation is a really big subject, and the best way to approach it is to start very small and practice. Because, like, if you wanted to be on a sports team, you have to train. You have to train your muscles, you have to train your body, you have to train your mind how to react. It's the same approach. It takes a lot of training. But someone to throw you into the deep end like that, where you're controlling your breathing, which is actually really hard to do.
Yeah.
Most people can't just inhale, hold for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 5. You can't just do that quickly, because if you're already hyped up, you're breathing quickly anyway. You're
I
breathing
can't do it
rapidly.
when I'm calm. Like just the thought of it, like, I don't know. Like, okay, call me lazy, but like I breathe on my own. I don't have to think about it. So it's one less thing I have to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if
But
I have
you're
to
right.
sit there and worry about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, nope, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm out. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's not being lazy at all. That's your body's natural process. You should not.
Exactly. So like I don't want to interrupt it.
Right. You're
Like it
taking
works fine.
conscious control of a natural process, and that's stressful. Even in yoga, which yoga and meditation are very closely linked, but in most schools of yoga, you are taught to let your breath go. Let your body breathe however it wants to. If you want to breathe shallow and rapid while you're doing yoga, do it. If you're breathing slow and deep, do it. Don't even think about it. Your body's got that. You're fine. Your body's not going to stop breathing because you're not counting,
Right.
So,
And that, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like I don't want to interrupt the flow. Like I feel like if I'm calm, I'm calm. If I'm fired up, let me just get it out.
right.
Like I don't want to, I don't know. So remember I told you there's a situation that yesterday, and I started thinking about, like, I said it to Wayne last night. I'm like, damn, wish I'd already talked to Awen, because, okay, so we all have 4-wheelers, go-karts, whatever. So yesterday, a bunch of us went down to Randy's house and we had this big day down there. Well, I won't ride them. I'll take Aiden for rides when no one else is home at the house, when no one else is here to take him and he just won't stop. But I'll like put along and like nothing crazy, no whatever. And here's why. Because this is the same reason why I won't ride roller coasters or amusement park rides, because that feeling, although it's a fun feeling, feels the same as anxiety off the roof. And I don't want to put myself in a position to induce that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and I was thinking, and our one friend, Braden, God love him, he's so sweet. He's like, I'll do like 2 miles an hour. Okay, we'll just idle down the trail. Will you at least get on the bike? Like he's trying to bargain with me. I'm like, no, I won't. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, how can I talk myself into just like trying to be part of this? I mean, it's fun for me just to watch them. Like I could do without it. Obviously, I've done it all this time. But it's like I avoid it because I know how that's going, because it feels so similar to, I don't know. So how does that work?
There's no really quick, like, I can't give you a 30-second visualization to
Right,
suddenly want to go on
like,
go-karts,
Would it be something like to where not so much talk myself into it, but talk myself into it in a way where like over time it could just be like, okay, like baby step it in a way to where like convincing myself, we're all not going to end up in the, urgent care like your dipshit son, but whatever, like you're going to go fast. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be, all sorts of alarm bells are going to go off, but you're going to survive it. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I think if I'm being honest, I think what my real fear is inducing those same symptoms, but then it provoking like a real anxiety or panic attack because I'm already there and my body is like, oh, I've been here. Let's have some fun,
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know. So like, yeah, I'm getting fidgety just thinking about it. Cause I'm like, I want to do it and I want to go be fun. I mean, not that I'm not fun, because clearly I'm fun, but like, I want to go out on, cause they're gone for like hours, they're just gone. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to go do that, but I don't know. And then the control of letting somebody else drive you. Oh no.
Right.
I will drive myself. I will be fine. I'll put my flashers on and just put along if I have to. But yeah, so, okay, I'll shut up. I'm rambling because I'm nervous about it. But that's my example of like, and maybe it's a bigger example, not a fair one to ask you to try to, say maybe this is a good direction or whatever, but just something I wanted to ask.
For an event like that, if it's something that you really, really, really want to do, then there would be a procedure that you could lay out. Like you start by just sitting on one of the vehicles, not even turning it on.
Yeah.
And maybe you get everyone just sit around. Everybody hop on. Let's just sit here and talk for a while. That's it. No engines running, nothing. And then, all right, let's go maybe all together in a little circle or maybe 30 feet and stop. You do little tiny baby steps, and then you find out where the anxiety starts to kick in.
Right.
Does it start when you're going 20 miles an hour? Does it start if there's hills? What triggers? You have to identify that. What turns it from just hanging out, sitting on this thing to,
Right.
I'm really feeling anxiety.
And I think that's the anxiety part that just says, well, as opposed to trying to induce anything, I'll just sit it out because it's just safer that way.
It is. There's no reason
about going out on the trails with them. That's with anything. It's just safer to just sit it out because then you're not going to feel a certain way. So
when the activity is not necessary, then you weigh, is it worth this anxiety or not?
Right.
And it's okay to make that decision, and you don't have to feel guilty about it but if you're feeling left out and you're feeling you really wish you could do that, then all right, let's start looking at.
I just wish that when people ask me to go, I'd be like, all right, cool, yeah, let's roll. But I'm just like, no, like I'm good. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things I just won't do. Now, mind you, I'll get in the Chevelle and we can do a gajillion miles an hour down the road. That doesn't bother me. But those ATVs are just a different breed to me. I don't know. It's just stupid.
It's not stupid.
And everybody around us does it. So it's not like it's as new. You know what I mean? It's just something I've always been like, eh. And then Aiden one day, he's like, Mama, go fast. I'm like, Mama's a puss. He's like, Mama, you're not a puss. And I'm like, trust me, Mama's a puss. So I'm like, and I'm like, can I at least just let this thing make noise? Then he feels like we're doing something. I don't know.
Right.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah, but it's important to listen to your own body's signals. And if you're having a reaction to an activity, don't do that activity until you can even just think about it, or perhaps visualize yourself doing it from the comfort of your couch until a point where you don't feel anxious visualizing yourself driving around on this thing. Because if just talking about it now is making you feel anxious, that's not an activity for you right now. And that's okay.
No, that's why I'm the one who barbecued and made sure everything was taken care of. I was mother hen. That's my job, but whatever.
Yep.
But,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so say so let's pretend that you're the person who walked in on that group therapy thing, or where would be a better place to start as opposed to clearly not throwing people into the deep end? Like what, based on, clearly anybody that knows Awen knows that if she researches something and learns about it, this broad knows about it. Like there is no stone unturned. And if she doesn't know the answer, by God, she will get it for you. But where would you suggest would be a good starting point as the most basic meditation 101 of 101s? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. The first place I would start, especially with someone who had hesitations about meditation, would be to create your sacred space. Right? You don't have to breathe. You should breathe, but you don't have to focus, breathe.
I'm going to go ahead and breathe just for shits and giggles. I'm just going to toss that out there.
Yeah, let's keep breathing. But you don't even have to close your eyes or anything. Just imagine a place, but you have to create it from scratch. It can't be someplace you've been. All right. So someplace that you've been, but you have to alter it. So it's very unique and different. Is it a beautiful forest? Is it a sunset beach? Is it inside some old ancient temple, somewhere where you feel almost magical and sacred and special to you? All right. And it's your own creation. It does not have to be logical. It doesn't have to be realistic. Just
So
create a
I
little
can be a
space.
mermaid. Is that what you're saying?
You can live under the sea.
All
You can
right,
live out
I'm
in
feeling a
space.
little better now. See, now
Yeah.
I'm going back to the deep end. I want to be a mermaid. See what I'm saying? I'm
Well, there
skipping
you
past,
go.
damn it.
Be a mermaid. But create a little sacred space. And it can be tiny or it can be big, whatever you want. Just spend some time imagining it. Imagine like you're a Disney animator and you have to draw the scene for this new movie and it's your fantasy scene, right? What would it be? And put as much thought into it as you can and try to get all of your senses involved. Like, what does it smell like? What's the temperature? What surfaces can you touch and what do they feel like? Are there stones or grass or walls? Just get as many of your senses involved in creating this space as you can. And that's it. Spend 1 week just designing this movie set. Right. And then once you've got it and you're like, okay, this is cool, then close your eyes and just relax. Don't force your breathing. Just sit down and start relaxing your muscles a little bit and go to that space. Visualize yourself in there. Walk around in it, explore it, add new stuff. You can decorate it any way you want, and spend some time
Decorate for
there.
Halloween, baby.
You can make it Halloween Town or whatever you want. Hold on 1 second. I have to cough and mute my mic. Those allergies are starting to kick my butt today. Here they come. So yeah, create your space and spend some time there getting to know it and getting really familiar with it. And once you've done that, spend about 2 weeks total doing that, then go there and do a little visualization about anything. Learn how to be the tree. Learn how to stick a person in there and have that be your inner guide counselor and talk to them. That's what one of the upcoming episodes is, how to create a spirit guide of your own to talk to. And then you just go there and hang out, but it's not exactly a meditation. It's just your little space to sort of ease your way into communicating with your subconscious. Very simple, stress-free. There's a lot of things you can do with it. And then you take that and you grow from there, because the more you visit it, the more you use it, the better your mind is going to be at saying, oh, wait, this is important time. Let's pay attention to what's happening here. And then it just develops slowly over time. And then you just add more and more stuff. And that's something anyone can do.
Right.
So it's a good place to start. I will be putting some of the longer guided meditations up. I have one coming up for my Patreon channel, but that's big time. That's something that when you already know how to relax and focus and meditate and breathe and all that stuff.
Not for beginners.
It's not. It's really not.
And that's fair. And see, that's what I would appreciate. It's because I don't know the difference. And I don't mean to sound, it's just, I don't know the difference, because to me, it's just a blanket term. And it sounds like, from a little bit I've talked to you about it prior to now, and even now, is that that's not the case. And so it's unfair. I don't know, because I feel like my association, like I said, is the controlled breathing. So if there's more options and there's different avenues, like if there's different streets in this little neighborhood of meditation, I want to go down a different street. Maybe I'm going to take a left and not a right.
Yep. I don't do controlled breathing myself, because I have kind of a similar reaction to it. My heart rate will increase if I try to hold my breath, because I get nervous. So I don't even do that myself. And I've never taught that. And I've never done that in any of my guided meditations, because I take a more yogic approach to it. Let your body do what it needs to do. It knows better than you how it needs to breathe. So leave it the hell alone.
Right.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
If that broke, don't fix it.
Yep. Now I do take a lot of deep breaths, but that's sort of like a warning to my body, not a warning, but a heads up saying we're going to be doing focus now. So take a nice deep breath and exhale. That's it. I don't hold it. I don't count. It's just all right, a little cleansing breath. And now let's go do what we have to do. And I think that's helpful, because that cues your body into, oh, we need to pay attention to something here. What's happening? Little signals you send to your body that something different is happening and it's time to pay attention. So yeah, your meditation street should just be making a fun place to hang out And then when you've got that ready, then okay, then we'll do a little visualization inside it. That you can just, you don't have to lay down and meditate and get into all this crazy relaxation stuff. You just sit down, close your eyes for a second, and say, oh, that was fun. All right, done.
Right.
You know.
Now, okay, so you were explaining to me, or you mentioned to me, like how you study this and how you learned about it. Would you tell us about that? So then
Yep.
I can really start asking you some more questions.
Yeah, back in it was the early '90s when I lived in Boston and I moved up to Salem, Massachusetts. I took some courses in hypnotherapy, um, mainly because we did a lot of guided meditations and things through our spiritual practice. So I figured, if I'm doing that, maybe I should know what I'm doing, because who knows what I'm teaching these people to self-hypnotize themselves with. You don't wing that stuff. You don't just chuck it out and see what sticks. So
Why not? Well, now you're
yeah.
taking all the fun out of it, Awen.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, it's not good for you, but it's funny that you were like, red flag.
Yep. And I was also studying Ayurveda at the time when someone you may know, Deepak Chopra, was teaching at the Institute of Living with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi at the time, they've since parted ways. There's all kinds of drama there, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I spent many, many years studying this, but decades of my life practicing it and teaching others to practice because, as you know, when I was going through my narcissistic relationship, this is kind of what saved me, because I always had my safe place to retreat to and my way to focus myself and stay calm and grounded in the center of this whirlwind of chaos, and so I credit my meditative practices to really getting me through that time unscathed.
So does it feel like, I mean, like when you're doing it right or whatever, does it feel like a temporary like escape in a sense? I don't even know if that's the right term to use.
Yeah, it feels like when everything that's going wrong and you're really stressed and you're really anxious, you can take 30 seconds out and be like, ah, all right, I'm calm. Everything is fine right here. And then you can go back into that situation and deal with the chaos with a little bit more focus and a little bit more self-control.
Gotcha.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi,
Nice to see you.
Sharon. I mean, I hate to sound so dumb, but like I said, I really had for 2 decades now. I was like, don't even bring that word up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You keep talking about how you learned about it, and I'm gonna write down a couple questions because every time I get ready to say one, something else pops in my head. So I gotta like get my thoughts together.
Well,
you're such a wealth of knowledge. I'm like, ooh, we've got an hour. How many? Let's play a game. How many questions can I ask Awen in an hour?
Yeah, well, my interest in it came about through the spiritual side of things that I was into at the time. And I was introduced to chakras and that whole thing and meditations. And a lot of people would come to me for pathworking readings or tarot readings and say, I want to know what I did in a past life. Right. And I'm like, all right, that's not what I'm about, because
right.
that whatever. Why don't we talk about this life and what's happening now? And I got into a lot of the psychology behind it. And what I really wanted to do is make sure that nothing I was doing could be harmful. Because when you start to play around with hypnotherapy and guided meditations, you can really cause some problems if you don't know what you're doing. And I saw a lot of that because in the 90s, this was the big thing. The past life regressions. Everybody was having a past life regression. And they were being put through a hypnotherapy session and coming out with these memories of their past lives. And I'm like, that's not what this is supposed to be about, and I was getting a little worked up about that, because people would start changing their lives based on what they thought they were in a past life. And I'm like, no, the core of meditation and these practices comes from Western spirituality. And
I could see where some of these practices would exploit humans.
Yes.
Because you want to know everything, and that sort of stuff is very interesting. If I thought not everybody who, did that was a quack, tell me about my past life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would totally be down it because I'm nosy. I want to know all the things. You
Right.
know what I mean? Why not? But it just seems so.
Yep. But a
It,
lot of
it
the
seems unrealistic to me. So it's like, okay, so again, that big the whole meditation blanket with like if hypnotherapy falls under that, then that adds to that. Well, maybe that's just
mm-hmm.
and that's not fair.
Right.
So
Right. And that was my big problem is you're diminishing something that's very effective and very powerful by playing it as a parlor trick and selling past life regression sessions for $150. Like that's not okay. So I really wanted to study it to sort of combat that, as well as to offer something that would actually be useful, because the whole point of meditation, when it comes from the sources of it, let's look at Buddhism and Eastern philosophy. The point of those sets of spirituality is to be in the moment, is to be here in the present, not to be in the past, not to be in the future, to be right here, right now. So your past life is irrelevant. Right. But a lot of people want to look at their past life and say, well, I'm this way because I was Queen Sheba in my past life. It's like, okay, all right, let's talk about something else,
right.
So I wanted
You are
meditation
not
to
a
be a
crazy
tool.
cat lady because you were a veterinarian before. You were a crazy cat lady. You've gone off the deep end. Let's be real.
Right.
No,
So I wanted it to be very realistic, but
right,
still very helpful without being exploitative. And so that's why I got into the study of it. And I changed a lot of the things that I was doing, the way that I would structure my path working. I don't say I do tarot readings because I don't. I don't do future fortune telling. I do a path working reading, which says, here's the issue. Here's why the issue happened. Here's what you can do in the future to help yourself navigate through the issue. It's working your path through the obstacles in your life and getting to the result that you want, which is not you're going to meet a guy in a blue car wearing a red hat and he's going to be the love of your life. I don't do that stuff because that's
well, why not? You're no fun. You're no fun. No, the card reading was very interesting. It was very interesting on multiple levels. When I had Wayne come down and you did his, it was like the next day or so, he was like, okay, is that what she said? I'm like, we can go back and rewatch it if you really want to know what she told you. And he was like, oh, man, that's kind of weird. How'd she know that? I'm like, I don't think she knew. The cards knew. He's like, well, how the hell did the cards know?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's like that reading that I did for that friend of Linda's, and I was so confused. I was like, I see what I'm seeing. I know what it's saying, but I don't understand it. And then she explained it after we went off the air, and I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Right.
So in those situations, I don't think I'm giving you my information. I'm a conduit for the
Right.
information that's coming to me, and you have to do with it whatever you want to, because I don't know. I don't get it.
Right. No, and I mean, I see like things like that, like with the card readings, and then you get into like the past live reading and all these different things that, like Sharon said, and we just said a second ago, it's just exploiting human behavior, natural human behavior. It's exploiting that and turning it into, people who actually need certain sorts of therapies that fall under these umbrellas. It's making it a joke, which then we get into how awesome, anybody with any sort of mental health issue is treated, medically. So it's just ridiculous. I don't know. That's a whole nother soapbox, but it all goes together. It's frustrating.
Yep, it is. So that's why I'm really focusing heavily now on the 3-minute mindfulness stuff. They're little bite-sized chunks of visualization to help you get through an average day. And then if you absorb all of those little tips and tricks, then you evolve into actual meditation. And the more of that stuff you do, the more in touch with your own self you become. And it can't help but be a healing process.
Right.
So, and I think it's great. And yeah, Sharon, I don't charge for my pathworking readings because I feel that that's exploiting a need. But at the same time, I always limit them because sometimes you'll encounter someone who wants a reading and you'll do a little reading for them and they're very happy. And then the next day, oh, can you do another reading? And then a couple days later, can you do it? And then soon it's like every other day. and you're like, okay, this is not healthy, so let's do it once every 6 months, if that, So you have to be really careful, but at the same time, it is a very draining process. 3 or 4 readings, I'm like, I need a nap.
How
I'm
often? I
tired.
mean, I get like I trust me. I've learned in the last 31 days, life can change in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
But to go on the daily, I mean, are they wanting like a horoscope? I don't know.
No,
You know what I
that's
mean? I mean, I'm not trying to be.
yeah.
I mean, I'm all for some horoscopes because I'm like, whoa, sometimes. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, then they're exploiting you.
Right.
Like it's a two-way street of weird.
Yep. And you have to look at the psychology. As a reader, you have a responsibility to at least understand some basic psychology,
Right.
because when someone comes to you, I had a woman who would come to me every other day about some new guy she met, and she's sure he's
He
going to
was
be the
the
one.
one.
He's the one. Yep. Tell me what you see about it. And they're like, oh, no, he's not the one. Oh, but are you sure? I'm like, all right, this needs to stop because there are other issues at play here that have
Right.
nothing to do with this conversation. So, yeah,
Exactly.
but you have to be able to recognize those warning signs and hopefully refer them to, some professional help sometimes. It's kind of strange where people can go with these things.
Yeah, Sharon said I craft so I'd get in the zone. It's funny, crafting to me, or when I'm manipulating things and I'm really into something, it's cathartic to me.
Yep.
And like I'll have a lot of friends who are like, bitch, I don't know how you make all this shit. I would like jump off her. I'll just go to Hobby Lobby and buy it. All done, Like, no, like this is like it's fun. It's peaceful. Now it might not look peaceful because I got everything in that closet is all over the house, but I just feel great about it until I got to clean up. Then I'm like, damn, what was I thinking?
But there's a reason.
Cathartic. I get in that, like I just get in my zone and I'm just bebopping whatever.
You hear a lot of jokes about people that go in for like inpatient therapy and they're going to go do basket weaving. Yeah, I see the humor in that kind of, but the point is crafting things, making something from start to finish is very empowering. It's very relaxing. It's a very positive experience. So yeah.
I'm very, I can whip all kinds of stuff up. I can be crafty. I bake all kinds of things. And it's just, I enjoy it. Like it's weird. I enjoy it. It's probably a form of meditation for me, to be honest, Sharon, because I'm in that bubble and I'm like, the house could probably burn down sometimes. And I'd be like, oh, I got to get this done, like do.
And yeah, sharing or Fen knitting, absolutely. I knit and I crochet, and I'll put on a really good movie or a documentary and get all cozy and just sit here and crochet for an hour. And by the time I'm done, I'm like, yeah, life is all right. There's nothing really wrong here. It's very, very centering. So yeah, crafting is a great thing to do.
Boy, Linda's going to flip her shit. And I'm going to be like, Linda, we're crafters. We've been meditating this whole time. Hold on. Linda's going to be like, what?
More oil pouring. Do it, Linda.
That's funny. Poor Linda. God, that stubborn woman needs to take her ass to the doctor. And for anybody who just got here, Linda's still sick. I played Awen a video or audio message that Linda sent me this morning, and she sounds like hell, and she doesn't sound any better than she did last week. She sounds worse than she did the last time I talked to her, and so everybody get on her ass and make her go to the doctor.
Yeah, she does. From what I heard, she should be in the ER right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Really. So, Linda, if you're listening to this, turn it off and go to the ER, please.
Right. Call Georgia and get something taken care of. That woman. She's too stubborn. Anywho, I don't know.
Yeah, so, cat knitting and crocheting with cats. My new baby Hops, a rescue cat. He hears the yarn. I don't know how he does it. I'll pick up my project, get the hook in, and he's on my desk in a second. I'm like, how did you hear that? You were 2 rooms away.
He's like, yes. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, he knows. They can hear it. Some supersonic cat sound that only they can hear.
Right.
So, yeah.
An overthinker. Yes, I definitely overanalyze everything, and I want to know everything about everything. And like we just talked about a minute ago, I feel like if I'm not doing it right, then I'm not going to do it. And then that's stupid. Because how do you learn how to do something? How do you learn to get it right if you don't try it? Like it's like what I tell my kids, we did that all damn day yesterday with Aiden. Oh, buddy, you can get it, try again. And here I'm just like, nope, screw it. I'm out. I ain't doing that crap, like practice what you preach. So I don't know.
Well, overthinking is a big problem. That's one thing that I struggle with I've always struggled with it. I overanalyze everything to death. And then by the time I've thought it through and I'm ready to go talk to the person, I've thought this amazing, horrible thing up in my head. And they're like, what? I wasn't mad. I'm like, really? I've stressed about this for 2 weeks and you weren't even mad? They're like, no, you weirdo.
You don't even know what the hell I'm talking about?
Yep. Yep, we do that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But overthinking, when it comes to meditation, overthinking is very challenging because you have to learn to turn your brain off. And that is very, very hard to do. And that's I think the first 3.
Well, if I could figure out how to do that, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, we wouldn't be opening it up to people and be like, all right, tell me how you help yourself. And let's talk about this. Hi, Mary. If I could just turn my brain off, like hit the switch and be like, be back in an hour, like one of those signs on my forehead, then we'd be cool. But it's just that way.
When I heard you and Linda talking about that, and when we did that long live stream with the readings, we talked about it a little bit. And so the first 3, I think, of my series are all based on how to stop that. Right?
Yeah,
and it's not an instant thing.
The first one was overcoming fear, quiet the mind and fall asleep, which God love you. And bedtime routine was the next one. That's pretty awesome. You're like, Brad, you could take a nap if you just listen to me for a damn minute. And then the next one was quick relaxation technique, creating sacred space, which we talked about a minute ago, quick stress reduction. And then the last one was the fear, overcoming fear. No, that was before.
Yeah, that was the first one. So the last 5 up so far.
Stress reduction. I don't know. YouTube was throwing them up in a weird order. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, but the quieting the mind. If you lay down to sleep and your brain is going a mile a minute, like mine does every freaking night, you have to train your brain to stop doing that. And it takes time and it does take practice. It's not the kind of thing where you can just do it once and yay, I'm cured. You have to train your brain to say, no, we're not doing this, brain. Remember? It's like, oh yeah, fine. I'll stop.
I am one of those people. I like immediate results. That's why when I go to the casino, I play a slot machine. I want immediate results. I want to know right now. So I feel like if it doesn't work right now, screw it. The whole thing ain't worth a shit. It's not going to work. Nothing works for me. And then the next thing you know, you're having a mental breakdown because
you think of it this way.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just escalates to weird places.
It's taken you 30 plus years to train your brain to the point where you can't turn it off to fall asleep. That took a long time to get your brain to that point. So it's going to take time to undo all that, Yeah,
I haven't had a decent night's sleep since like 1987. So we got a hot minute to go before we can unravel that ball of yarn.
Yeah, but it won't take you 20 years to undo it. It may take you a month of practicing. So it can be done, but it does take effort. It's something that you really have to commit to working to. And similarly, like I taught myself to do lucid dreaming once and to remember all of my dreams. And you train yourself to wake up when you have a dream and write a few keywords down so you remember it in the morning. But it got to the point where that's actually very unhealthy to do that. And I had to untrain myself to do that. And that took a couple of years.
That kind of dreaming scares me. Like I have such weird sleep issues that I'm just like, I want to be like Wayne. Mind you, he has sleep apnea, so he could like fall asleep in the middle of a conversation. I don't want to be like that part of Wayne, but I literally want to like head hit the pillow, toss and turn, get in your sweet spot, and you're done. Like I want to do that. And I don't want to do that on days when I'm so damn exhausted because I haven't slept in 3 days or days that I've been busy so day, I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go to bed. Like I kind of want that to be my life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be so bad?
It wouldn't, but I can't do that either. But catnip, I've thought about doing that, but here's my issue is I have to do it with a black screen because you don't want any light, right? But you shouldn't be having your like laptop or tablet open while you're trying to fall asleep anyway. So I'm like, but I guess you could put it on a phone with earbuds in or something. I don't know because falling asleep to a guided meditation is great, but I have them like I still have cassette tapes back from the 80s, for some of my favorites. But I don't want my devices on.
They've been sending us all mixtapes for Christmas. It's about to get real, and we're all getting mixtapes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll make a long guided meditation with a just black screen, so there's no graphics, so it won't be any light, and you could just I don't know put it face down or something and listen to it to fall asleep. But then my problem is I have autoplay on. If I was listening to a meditation and then like some loud gaming video came on after that, I'd freak out. I'd have a heart attack,
Right. Yeah,
So make sure autoplay is off.
I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd be like, sweet, this is working, and then like all hell would break loose.
Yeah.
Some sort of like murder mystery to pop up with like, the Tommy guns at the beginning spraying everybody. I'd be like, oh gosh, damn.
Yeah.
And then here we are again.
Yep, they start all over.
Mary's 3 a.m. wide awake. God love her. I know the feeling.
Yep.
So rough. Sucks.
Yeah, there were a couple years where I was not diagnosed with insomnia, but I was certainly suffering from the effects of it. Because I would lay down and I'd say, okay, well, I have to talk to so-and-so and I have to talk to so-and-so. And what if this happened? And what if that happens? And I'd process through all of these conversations and things.
Right.
And next thing I know, it's 4:00 in the morning. And then the panic sets in. Oh, I only got 4 hours of sleep. Oh no, I better fall asleep quick. And then it's 5:00. Oh, I only got 3 hours of sleep.
Like who does that thing? If I fall asleep right now, I can sleep for 3 hours, 13 minutes or something ridiculous. And then there just becomes a point like, bitch, just get up and put your shoes on and get started with your day. Like there is no point anymore. Like there's none.
Yep. So I had to use the turn your brain off technique for a couple, I would say at least a year and a half before I was able to lay down and fall asleep within like half an hour. But that was also combined with
I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. Wayne would think I was dying. He would probably call 911. He'd be like, oh my God.
But I found a bedtime routine that I adhere to strictly. When I deviate from that, I start having trouble again. But that's hard because, as you know, with all the projects I've got going on now with Paul and our podcast and the YouTube and Toxic Bliss, and I'm up till midnight or so recording, editing, uploading, exporting, blah, 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 blah. And I'm so excited about it that I don't want to stop and go to bed. I don't want to stop and turn off the lights and journal for 20 minutes. I got stuff to do, man.
Right.
But then I start having sleep issues. So it's like, all right, you got to find that balance. You really have to put effort into sleep because sleep is actually one of the most important things medically you can do for yourself. High blood pressure, like Mary mentioned, thyroid issues, so many things your body has to sleep to fix.
Even pain, like the issues I have with my neck and like my extremities. When I really am not sleeping, like I feel like it's worse, and it's because nothing is resting. Like not only does it hurt, but I'm kicking its ass for like 72 hours straight, and then it's like, oh. So yeah, there's a lot of things sleeping. If I could sleep regularly, I feel like a lot of things would kind of fall into place better. Clearly nothing's ever going to be like whatever perfect is, but it would just be like, okay, that's better.
Sleep is just as important for you as nutrition and exercise and everything else. And it's the one thing that you will instantly feel worse about.
Yeah, you feel the effects of. You're like, yes, score.
Definitely. So
I win.
But I will put a long meditation up for catnip. And I'll
well, I see how you are. Catnip's the only one with the mixtape. Damn. That's some crap.
Well, you and I are just going to do magic places. We're going to make a magic spot.
Oh Lord. Magic places. That's I wouldn't even know where to start with. Like, I don't even know where to start with that. I have to think about that.
Well, one thing I do is sometimes I'll look at just images on Google of like magical forests because I like forests and fairies, that kind of stuff. Or now with autumn, all the autumn pictures, I'm like, oh, that's the most beautiful autumn forest. Okay, I'm going to make that into a sacred space, and then I'll use that picture as my guide, and then just build it from there, and kind of, you know. A lot of times, even some of the video games I play have some amazing scenery, and they're
Oh,
so
I bet.
unrealistic and magical that it's like that can only be a sacred space because you can't do something like that in reality. So it's perfect. So I come up with all kinds of places, but I have one that I've used for about 30 years now.
Wow.
So that's my big space.
You go, girl.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And it's gotten really big. It started as like a one little area, and now it's all these rooms and places and stuff for
All
everything.
these additions. You get a permit from the government for all them additions. You go see your city inspector for all that work.
Even have running water, so somewhere I'm hooked up to the sewer.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Time out.
Okay.
Every time we're down here, Gavin comes down. No matter what. And I thought we were going to make it. And my buddy's here, but he doesn't feel good, and he's clearly not camera ready. But no, you can turn it off. I'll be up in like 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
I've been using the meat.
Okay, just toodles. What's Dad doing? Never mind. I'll be up in a minute. See, this is what he does. They just come and...
Catnip. Paul uses my Toxic Bliss episodes to fall asleep at night. So yeah, because you speak, I speak very slowly and measured in that series. So because it's all scripted, so I'm not, using crazy inflections.
I remember one night me and Allie and Linda kidnapped Awen like on a whim. Allie was doing a live, and like we just swooped Awen in there like 4 hours later. And Paul only woke up to go to the bathroom because it would have been like midnight or 1 his time. And he's like, where is my podcast?
Yeah.
And Allie thought that he was talking about something that Awen was supposed to do for him. And Awen was like, no, he wants my podcast. And she's like, Paul, go to bed. Like, you'll be fine. It's our friend tonight. But yeah, like disrupted his whole sleep pattern.
Yeah. So, he's so funny. I love that guy.
Like now you feel bad because like here we're talking about sleep pattern. Like, oh, sorry about you, Paul. But she became our friend that day.
Yep. Poor Paul. He'll live.
Exactly. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so that's my introduction to meditation, and I'm going to be doing a lot more with it on my channel, little by little, baby steps, because I'm also not sure how comfortable I am putting too much stuff out there without a good, solid foundation. Because I don't want someone jumping into a meditation having a negative experience because they don't know what to expect or anticipate. So that would be sad.
And I like the idea that they're just a few minutes long, so it's not like it's not like you have to clear a block of your time. You know what I mean? Like, right. Like really, like it's just a real quick, like, oh, like is that all? Like, not is that all? But it's like, oh, it's that easy kind of deal. Yep. Or it's supposed to be that easy, and maybe one day it will be that easy. Yep. But it's a nice it's pretty cool.
Yep.
So yes. Well, my homework is setting up a sacred space because clearly I live in turmoil. I can't even be in the basement for an hour without somebody flipping the lid.
Oh.
So no, mother hen, that's what I do. Take care of everybody.
So, sacred space and getting Linda to the hospital.
Right, yeah. Sacred space and an ambulance ride. But absolutely.
Just tell Linda while she's in the ambulance, be the tree, Linda, be the tree. You can do it.
I could just, what the hell are you talking about? I got time for this bullshit. I can just hear it now.
Shut up, be the tree. Come on, Linda, you can do it.
Maybe, Sharon. I mean, that's definitely good, but I do, like, I feel like now that we're talking more about different, like, not so much like escape, but my term escape, not anyone's, but my term is that when I am crafting and doing stuff, I am in like my bubble and like a different bubble than like normal, like weird bubble. but like I'm just kind of bebopping, and you know, everything is mindless. I don't think about what I'm gonna do next. I just do it, as opposed to, you know, like now, like when I go upstairs, like, what am I gonna do first? Fold the laundry or finish their damn ham? You know what I'm saying? Probably should finish the ham because it's late.
Ham, probably, yeah.
Right. Well, we got home late and I was a mess, but anyway. But so I am going to go deal with my ham. And thank you, Awen, for coming and discussing this with us and teaching us. And I'd like to have you come back and do it again, especially when Linda's here, because I know she has questions, and then she can give you her heartfelt, Linda, savvy, I love you, girl.
Well, Linda, if you're listening, I love you. And I hope you get better because we need you. So
absolutely. Chop, chop, lady. Everybody's so nice, and I'm here. I'll take your damn meds and quit being a stubborn bitch. Like, I just got to lay it out there because that's the language she understands.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how it rolls. But anyway, so thank you, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody has a great week, and we will see you guys on Thursday.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
All right. Have a good week.